Okay, so topic for today is about the weighted average. Okay, so to get an idea about the weighted average, let me just show you a very basic example. If I say that there is a class and not a class, consider a very basic case that there are, let's suppose, two students. There are two students and age of one student is 12 and the age of other one is 16. So what's the average of both of these students? This is a very basic case. The average will be 12 plus 16 divided by 2, which is 14, right? But now if I change the scenario, if I say that there is a class in which there are some boys and some girls, and if I say that the average of males in class, the average of males age in class is 12 and the average of females age in class is, for example, 16. Now if I ask what is the overall average of the class, can anyone of you tell what will be the answer to this question? The first was one is very basic question in which there are only two students and age of one student is 12 and other one is 16. So the average very simple, just sum those and divide by 2, that is 14 years, right? But in second scenario, I say that there is a class and there are some male students and some female students. And the average age of male student is 12 years and the average age of female student is 16 years. Now, can anyone tell what is the overall average of the class?
Let number of boys x, number of girls y. So 12 into x plus 16 into y by x plus y.
Okay, yes, x plus y.
We can't tell without knowing the total numbers of the males and females in the class. To get an idea, just take one or two cases. For example, first take the first scenarios in which the female number are greater than male. And for example, if male 1 and if female are 2, and now, and the average of males is 12 and the average of female is 16. Now we can tell based on the simple average formula that there one, the average formula. Average formula was total sum divided by total number, right? So what for the first? For the first, total sum will be equal to average is 12 and total number is 1. So this is 12. And for this scenario, total sum will be equal to 2 into 16, that is 32. Now the total sum is, by combining both, this is 12 plus 32, this is 44, and the overall average will be 44 divided by 1 plus 2, which is 44 by 3, right? This is first scenario. Now the other scenario is, if I take the inverse of this, if I consider male greater than female, and for example, male is equal to 2 and female is equal to 1, will the result be same or different?
Different.
Yeah. The average will be, the average will be, the average provided to us for male is 12 and for female is 16, right? So simple, what is the sum for the first? That is 2 into 12, which is 24. And for other, this will be 1 into 16. And overall sum will be 24 plus 16, which is 40. And the average will be 40 divided by 3. Now see, both of these are different case. And the last scenario is in which if I consider that males and females are equal. In that scenario, for example, both are 1 and the average is 12 and this for this 16. So sum will be equal to 1 into 12 and 1 into 16. That is what? That is 28. So average will be just 28 divided by 2, which is 14. Now, there are 3 scenarios and the average for all of these are different. So that's why without knowing the total numbers, the weights of the averages, we cannot determine the overall average. And that is the concept of the weighted average. The weights matter. And the overall formula for the weighted averages A1 W1 plus A2 W2 divided by W1 plus W2, where A1 and A2 are the averages and W1, W2 are the weights. You can call these weights our total number for each case. This is a formula for finding the weighted average. Okay, we will try to play with the formula first. And this is a formula that overall average is equal to A1 W1 plus A2 W2 divided by W1 plus W2. And for time being, if I call overall average as AG, so this formula is AG is equal to A1 W1 plus A2 W2 divided by W1 plus W2. Okay, so now try to simplify this formula. And if I move this to the left side, this is AG into W1 plus W2 is equal to A1 W1 plus A2 W2. This will be AG W1 plus AG W2 is equal to A1 W1 plus A2 W2, and try to have common weights on each side. And for that, I will move W1 on one side and W2 on other side. This will be AG W1 minus A1 W1 is equal to A2 W2 minus AG W2. And if I take the common terms, this is W1 into AG minus A1 is equal to W2 into A2 minus AG. So I can also write this as, if I take W2 on the other side and this on the right side, this will be W1 over W2 is equal to A2 minus AG divided by AG minus A1. This is a final form which we'll be using further. So what is this? This is basically the ratio of weights. And if we try to represent this on a line, on the number line, for example, this is a number line. First of all, tell me one thing. If you have two averages of one group as 5 and the other as 10, so what could be the overall average? That must be somewhere in between. That can never be greater than 10 or less than 5. Just like the example we take that, for example, in a class, the average of overall boys is 5 and overall girls is 10. So if we take the combined average, that can never cross 10 or less than 5. That must be somewhere between these. Am I right?
Yes, you are.
That's the concept here. So if I consider this as A1, the average of first case, and A2, the average of other, and what will be the overall average? That must be lying somewhere between. And right now we don't know in which side, but somewhere between, right? And if you see this thing, this is a ratio, and you can write ratio as this as W1 into X over W2 into X. Will this make any difference? No, right? This is actually a ratio. And this thing, which is A2, this thing is actually A2 minus AG, and this thing is AG minus A1. And as per formula, this will be equal to W1 and this will be equal to W2. But in actual, these are ratios. That's why you have to multiply with some multiple here, which is X. So getting my point? We will solve various examples, and with this method, you can solve any weighted average question, any mixture questions in even less than 10 seconds. So try to understand this. Okay. First of all, tell me one thing, just a quick revisal for the ratios part. And if I have A ratio B is equal to 2:3, and overall value of A is 10. So what is the value of B?
15.
If you try to open this, A over B is equal to 2/3. And in ratio form, you can write this as 2x over 3x. And yeah, 2 over 3 is equal to, you know, the actual value of A, which is 10. And you ask to find this value. So this will equal 5 and x is equal to 15. This is one thing. Not A, B is equal to 15. The other thing is, if you know the total value, you can find the multiple. For example, if you know that A ratio B is 2:3 and overall value is 10. So what is the value of A now?
4.
Yeah, this is 2x ratio 3x and overall value is 10. So you can write this as 5x is equal to 10, x is equal to 2. So value for A is 4 and value for B is 6. This is the actual concept we are using here. Please mute yourself. Okay. So now if you see this formula, which was the last formula, that is W1 over W2 is equal to A2 minus AG divided by AG minus A1, right? Now just take the number line in front of you, and whatever and remember, right side is on the number line, right side is always greater than the left side, which we already discussed. This is what? This is A1, the smaller average, and this is A2, the bigger average, and the overall average must be somewhere lying between. For example, this is right. And what is this thing? This whole thing, that is A2 minus AG. And what is this thing? This is AG minus A1. Everything is understood till now.
Yes.
Now this W1 and W2 is actually a ratio, right? And if you remember the equivalent fraction concept, this thing must be equal to this thing, but with some multiple. And this thing is actually equal to this thing, but with some multiple. So we can write this as this thing as W1x and this thing as W2x. Is this understood till now?
Multiple of what? X is what?
X is any multiple. This is a ratio concept. 2 over 3 is same as 4 over 6. And if you multiply both with 2, the result is 4 over 6. So 2 over 3 is the least form on the ratio. That's why X could be any value.
So after taking the ratio difference between A2 and AG, we have to multiply W1 and W2 with X.
You don't need to multiply with X. I think you didn't get the ratio concept. This is actually a ratio W1 over 2, right? And this is, for example, if this is A over B, remember this is a least form. This can also be written as 4 over 6. This can also be written as 6/9, right?
Yeah, I know this.
We are not sure about it. That's why we need to multiply with X, so that if X is 2, this will be 4/6. If X is 3, this will be 6/9. the multiple is same in both, that will cancel out. But when you are considering equality, then you need to consider x as well. And I will, you will, whenever I will start solving question, you will get why I am considering x in this. And for just consider this now, if see the old example, and everyone else get what is this thing? This is the average of one group, which is smaller. This is average of other group, and overall average is somewhere lying between. And what will be this thing? That will be this average minus this average, and this thing will be AG minus A1. Okay, so if I see, consider the last example which we did earlier, that for example, we have males, we have 5 males and we have 10 females, and average for male is 15 and average for female is 18, right? And we asked to find what is the overall average. Let's call this AG, and let's call this A1, and this called it A2. Now just straightforward draw a number line. What is the smaller average? That is 15. What is the larger average? That is 18, right? And we are asked to find the average, for example, that is AG, which we don't know right now. And you will see, if you remember the formula, this is A2, this is A1, this is AG, and the formula was W1 over W2 is equal to A2 minus AG divided by AG minus A1. And okay, so first of all, what is the ratio W1 over W2? W1 is equal to 5 and W2 is equal to 10, and this is equal to 1 by 2. Yes or no?
Yes.
1 by 2. Now, just tell me one thing, which I told you earlier, that W1 is related to this, right? So this part will be 1x and this part will be 2x. See, 1 multiply with x, x and 2x. This is x, this and 2x. So overall, this is 3x, and this 3x is equal to 18 minus 15, which is equal to 3. So 3x is equal to 3, x is equal to 1. Now you know x is equal to 1. So average will be 15 plus 2x, 15 plus 2 into 1, which is 17. Isn't this a quick method? Anyone got this? We will solve plenty of example. You will understand each of this. But for time being, you get an idea what is actually this method.
No.
Yes. Easy.
It's very much easy. For example, if I, just quickly solve this question and try to solve this using weighted average, using the scale method. This method is actually known as scale method. And for example, if I solve with you this question, and first of all, try to solve this conventional method, and then we'll try to solve this using the scale method. Conventional method, number of boys is equal to 10 and number of girls is equal to 20. Average for boys is equal to 17 and average for girls is equal to 20. And we asked to find the overall average. So first thing way is by using the formula, right? And consider these as W1 and W2. And the formula was the overall average will be equal to A1 W1 plus A2 W2 divided by W1 plus W2. This is what is A1? This is 17. What is W1? That is 10. And what is A2? That is 20. What is W2? That is also 20. And divided by W1 is 10 plus 20. And if you try to solve this, you can use calculator and just come up with the answer, whatever the answer is. So what is the answer?
19.
19. Okay. Now let's try to do this using the scale method. This was first method. The second is scale method. And first of all, just quickly find the ratio of the weights. What is W1? That is 10. What is W2? That is 20. The ratio is 1/2, right? Now straightforward, draw the number line. What is A1? That is 17. What is A2? That is 20. AG must be lying between. You know the ratio W1 correspond to 1. So we can write this as x over 2x. This is x. This is 2x, right? So this whole thing is 20 minus 17, this 3. And this is 2x plus 3x. X plus 2x, which is 3x. So 3x is equal to 3, x is equal to 1. So average will be 17 plus 2x. This will be 17 plus 2 into 1, which is 19, or 20 minus x, which is also 19. So now you can see this method is quicker or this method is quicker.
This method actually is easier than the conventional way, but I didn't get is the here, like when we get the x in the ratio x inside of W1 and beside W2 is 2, then what actually happened? I didn't get from there.
You got till now. This thing got till this thing, right?
Yes, yes.
Can you repeat
And
once? Can you repeat once?
this is actually a ratio, right? So
Yes, yes, I got.
so you can write this as x over 2x. You can write, you understood till now. Now
Yes.
the smaller average is 17, the bigger average is 20. And our average must lie between somewhere. Let's call this AG. And if you remember, the formula was W1 over W2 is equal to A2 minus AG divided by AG minus A1, right?
Yes.
So what is AG, A2 minus AG? That is equal to W1 with some multiple of x. And this is equal
Yes.
to W2 with some multiple of x. So if you write 1 over 2, you can write this as x over 2x, right?
Yes.
So A2 minus
Yes.
AG must be equal to x, which is this thing x.
Mhm.
And this is AG minus A1 must be equal to 2x, which is this thing.
Yes.
Now this whole thing must be equal to x plus 2x, which is 3x.
3x,
right?
yes.
And this is also equal to 20 minus 17, 3. Because
Yes.
the bigger is 20, the smaller is 17, also equal to 3. So 3x is equal to 3, x is equal to 1. Now you know x is equal to 1. You can find AG as 17 plus 2x or also as 20 minus x. You will get AG, which is our overall average.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so let's solve one more question. Please mute yourself. Let's solve one more question, and then you will get better idea about this. Okay, quickly try this question. And this time try to solve this using the scale method. Now, if I try to solve this using the scale method, there are cars, 50 cars, 50, not 15, 50 cars and trucks are equal to 10. The average for cars average is 1200 kg. This is average. And average for truck is 3000, right? So I'm considering car as W1 because the average of car is smaller, and the truck as W2 because the average of truck is greater. So what is W1 over W2? That is 50 by 10, which is 5 by 1. And you could write this as 5x over x, right? Now just simply draw a number line. What is the smaller average? That is 1200. What is the bigger average? That is 3000. And this is AG. So what is this thing? This is 5x. And what is this thing? This is x. So overall, 3000 minus 1200. What is this value? 3000 minus 1200. This is 1800. Also, this is equal to 5x plus x, which is 6x, right? So 6x is equal to 1800. X is equal to 300. Now we know the x. What is AG? AG is 1200 plus x. which is 1200 plus 300 equal to 1500. You can also do this way, 3000 minus 5x, which is 3000 minus 5 into 300, which is also 1500. So in both ways, you can get the average, which is 1500. Isn't this a bit quicker? Not bit, very quick method. And same method will be used for averages as well, for the mixtures question as well, when we move forward. Okay, is this method understood to everyone till now?
Yes.
You can also think
No,
this
wait,
way.
wait,
Listen,
please.
this is A1, right? And this is A2. You can also think this way, that the weight of the A1 will be on the opposite side, and for A2 will be on the opposite side. See, W1 in front of W1 is 5x. So if this is A1, so the 5x will be on the opposite side. And if this is A2, x will be on the opposite side. You can also think this way, whatever the way that is easy for you. Okay, so what was the question? No question?
No, nothing.
Okay. Now, quickly, one more question. Yeah, try this question. And try to solve this in under 30 seconds. So, straightforward, try to solve this. This corporation, there are two classes. One is silver and one is gold. Okay, the average for the gold is this much higher than the silver average. Gold is how much higher? 5,000-6,000 than the silver. If I consider the average for silver as 0, average for silver is 0, then average for gold is what? 56,000, right? Let's call this A1 and this as A2. So A1 is 0, A2 is 5,600. This is A1, this is A2, and AG must lie somewhere between. So what is W1 over W2? And 120 for silver and 160 for gold. This is 3 by 4. Are we going to write as 3x over 4x? Now, if this is A1, so for opposite, what will be that? That will be 3x. And if this is A2, opposite will be what? Opposite will be 4x. You can also think this way. So what is this? This is total 5,600, 56,000. And what is this? This is 4x plus 3x, 7x. So 7x is equal to 56,000 and x is equal to what value? X is equal to 8,000. Now you know the x. What is AG? AG is simple, 0 plus 4 into 8,000, which is 32,000, or 56,000 minus 3x, which is 56,000 minus 3 into 8,000, which is 32,000. So we can solve both ways. Try to solve this mixture question using the same concept which we discussed. Try to solve this question. Okay, so let's solve this question now. We have solution y and solution x. Okay, y is 40% sugar by solution, sugar by volume. And you know that what is meant by sugar by volume? That means out of total 40% is sugar, right? And okay, y is 40% sugar by volume and x is 20% sugar by volume. And the question is saying how many gallon of solution x must be added to 150 gallon of solution y. Okay, so we know that the value overall value of y is 150 gallons, and we're asked to find what will be the value of x so that the overall average become 25%. Okay, so now try to think of this question. Draw a number line, right? So what is the smaller one, average? That is 20. And this is for X. Let's what I call this as A1 and this as A2, which is 40. And the average lies between, that is overall average is 25%, right? Okay, so what is this value? This is 5. And what is this value? This is 15. And I told you earlier, this is actually a ratio. In formula, we have W1 over W2 is equal to A2 minus AG over AG minus A2. This is actually ratio, right? So what is the W1 over W2 will be? What value? 15 over 5, which is 3:1. You can write this as 3x over x, right? Now the question already told that we know that what is the value of x? What is the value of x? Not x. We know the value of y, which is 150. So either y is 3x or x. Anyone can tell me? Everything is understood till now, right? What I am doing here? Yes or no?
X is Y.
3x is y.
3x is not y. X is y. Because I told you that the actual value, if this is A1 and this is A2, W1 will be this value and W2 will be this value. And we are finding y. Y is this time, right? So we know W2. So which is equal to x, x is equal to 150. Now we know x is 150. So what is the value of y, value of x, which is 3 into 150, which is 450. You got the point?
Can you please explain the ratio part? I didn't get W1 by W2. What are the values that you took?
Okay, just quickly, this is 20, this is 40, and this is 25, this is 5, and this is 15, right? Now, actually in formula, this is still W1 over W2 is equal to AG, A2 minus AG divided by AG minus A1. This is A2, this is AG, and this
Yes,
is
yes, understood.
A1,
Yes.
right? This is
Mm-mm.
actually a ratio. And this is equal to what? This is equal to 15 by 5, which is equal to 3 by 1, which is ratio.
Yeah.
You can write this as 3x over x. Now this is first thing is covered. Now the second thing is, you know the overall value of y, right? Now, what is, you can use formula straightforward as well. W1 over W2 is equal to 3 by 1. And you know what is the value of, what is the value we are provided with, which value, x or y? You are provided with y, and y is W2, which is 150. So W1 is equal to 3 into 150, which is 450. You can either use formula or you can use this. You will just end up to 450.
इसमें डिफरेंस कैसे आया सर? ये 15 और 5 यहाँ पे तो कहीं मेंशन नहीं है. 40, 20, 150, 25. ये 15 और 5 का डिफरेंस कैसे?
25, 40. What is difference between them? 15, 40 minus 25. And this is 25 minus 20, which is 5. Okay, shall I move forward now?
Yes.
Okay.
Brother, I got 3 by 1 ratio up to this, but how we get 150? There I didn't got.
Listen. First of all, tell me what is W1 here, what is W2 here? W1 is the value for x, right? and W2 is a value for Y. And if you know this formula, this is W1 over W2. A2 minus AG is what? It is 15. And AG minus AH is 8, 1 is 5. This is 3 by 1. And you know this is equal to 150. Straightforward W1 is equal to 150 into 3, which is 450.
Okay, I got it.
Right? These are actual total numbers. Total numbers are total weight. And you know, if you know anyone, you can quickly just solve this. And you can think of this in terms of line and in terms of formula, you can do anyway. But try to do this way instead of just going for the conventional formula. And if you want to still solve this by conventional method, you can try, and just then compare the time which you get by solving this method and by solving the conventional method. Okay. Yeah, try this question. So we have seed mixture X and seed mixture Y, which is further combined afterward. And first of all, we have X and then we have Y. And in X, one thing is, let's call this as R and this as B and this as F, for example. R is 40% by volume, by weight, and B is 60%. And in Y, this is 25% and this is 75%. And we are given that after combining both, the mixture contains 30% R. And if you combine both of these, for example, X plus Y, the R is 30%, right? So you know the initial weight, initial, final, and the overall. Not 25% regress. Yes, overall. Now straightforward, use the number line, use the line. And the least one is 25%, the highest one is 40%, and the overall is 30%, right? And remember one thing, for using the formula, the quantity you are comparing must be same. You are taking the percentage of regress, and overall regress final value is given, right? So use this, don't use other values. And this is for Y and this is for X. And what is this now? This is 5 and this is 10. So what is the ratio? Ratio is 1:2. Now, if I ask you that, what will be the value for X over Y? Can anyone quickly tell? Anyone? What will be the value of X over Y? In short, I'm saying what is the value of weight of X over weight of Y? Now, can anyone tell?
2 by 1.
2 by 1. No.
3, 2 by 3. 2 by
I told
3.
you that if this is X, the weight of X will be this one, which is 1. You can write this as X, and that's 2X. And if this is Y, the weight of this will be this one, which is 2. So weight of X will be X, or you can write as 1X, and weight of Y will be 2X, which is 1 by 2. Now, what actually the question is asking, what percent of weight of the mixture is X? So if this is X, this is 2X, total is equal to X plus 2X, which is 3X. And question is saying what percent of the mixture? So we have total is X. So X is how much? X is 1 and total we have 3. Multiply with 100, which is 33.3%. Just remember and read clearly, percent asking about the percent out of total or out of parts. That's how the it is confused usually in the data interpretation. They just change the statement, and just like in this question, the percent of weight of the mixture. The question is asking, we are considering the out of total, and if this is not the weight of mixture, then we can consider like X over Y or whatever the scenario is. But the question is saying that what is the weight of X out of the whole mixture? percentage of rate of x. So that is x over total. And in x, we have x over 3x, which is 1 over 3 into 100, which is 33.3%.
Where is 75%?
Seven-
They have mentioned.
75%.
Yeah, they have mentioned the percent.
Where is 75%? This is of no use. These two are of no use. We are just considering this, and this value. Because see, 40% of regress, 25% of regress, and overall solution is 30% of regress. Just use these. Is this understood by all? You can solve any mixture question using this, any mixture question.
Yes, I still confuse the here 1 into x, 2 into x. Here actually I feel confusion. Would you please
Which
make
part?
me clear?
This thing?
Is it? No, yeah, this thing.
First of all, try to understand the formula. W1 over W2 is equal to A2 minus AG over AG minus A1, right? This thing is equal to this thing, right? This part. And this thing is equal to this part. You know this thing is equal to 10 and this thing is equal to 5, which is 2 over 1. And W1 over W2 is equal to 2 over 1. This is actually a ratio. You can write this as 2x over x, which is exactly written here, which is 1:2 or x ratio 2x. You can also solve this by this thing or using this thing. But if you are still confusing in the ratio part, try to simply use the formula, this formula. But remember one thing,
Okay.
if you got, let's suppose 10:30, this is 1:3. This is always ratio. If you got 3:7, so this is 3:7, right? So whatever you got here, that is a ratio. There's another name of this method, which is alligation method, but the way of using that method is different. I'm considering the scale, but they are considering in this format, in diagonal format. But it is better to understand these in the number line. So that will be a bit quicker. Okay.
So here
Yes.
we know W1 is the bigger part, right? W1.
W1 is the bigger part.
Yes.
W1 is equal
W1
to 2x. Yes. But you need to see which you are considering as W1. And right now we are considering Y as W1. Right? W1 is such who has the less average value, so that this one is less, this one is greater. So I'm considering the lesser average as W1 and a higher as W2. Right?
Okay, got it. Yes.
So excuse me, I have a question.
Yes.
So in that mixture, if the final mixture is 35% of ryegrass, so then
Yeah.
what will be the percentage? It's 66.66%. So if mixture of X and Y contains
Okay, so
35%.
you are saying this is 35% overall.
Yeah.
And this is, we are getting 40%, and this is how much? 25%. So this is
25%.
15, and this is 5. So this will be how much? 3:1. Oh, no, this is 10. Sorry. This is 2:1. 25 minus 35, 10. So this is 2:1. And this is Y. 25% is Y. This is X. And a question is saying what percent of? Yeah, X. So that will be 2x divided by 3x into 100. That will be 66.69%.
Yeah, thank you. I got it.
Right. Is this method is understood by all now?
Yes.
Try this question, and this question won't take more than 15 seconds or 20 seconds to solve by this method. By 3. Okay. Anyone else? Come on. Okay, just quickly solve this question. First of all, how much liter of pure alcohol? Right? Remember, when you see the word pure, this means you have a solution with 100% alcohol. There is no other ingredients in this solution, right? Okay, added to the 100-liter solution, that is 20% alcohol in order to produce 25% alcohol. Okay, we have 20% of alcohol, one solution, and 100% of alcohol, one solution. Our average is 25%. So this is 5 and this is 75. What is the ratio? This is 1:15, right? Okay, and this is, let's call this as second solution. So this is the second solution, and this is the first one with 100% alcohol. Because, and we are given that the second solution is 100 liter. So how should we proceed further now? We've done this similar question to this earlier. Can anyone tell me? I know the second solution the total value. So how can I proceed further? No one? Okay, so I told you this is ratio, right? So we can write this as x ratio 15x. Now I told you one more thing, that if this is second solution, its actual value is this ratio, which is 15x, and we are given that this is 100 liter. So 15x is equal to 100 liter, x is equal to 100 over 15, which is 20/3. And we're asked to find what is the how much pure liter of pure alcohol, which is this thing, and which is x. So answer is 20/3. So I believe this is understood by all, right? Am I audible, right?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Is this understood by all, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Try to solve this later. Okay, try to solve this question. And if you're able to solve this question using the scale method, you are very much familiar with this method. And if you try to solve this using a conventional method, that will take a lot of your time. So we just have 30 seconds to solve this question. Try to solve. First of all, the person has 2 liters of 60% concentrated solution of phosphoric acid. Okay, she want to add 3 liters of the less concentrated solution, so that she had 5 liters of the solution with a concentration less than 50. Okay, so what is the option? 3 liters of this, 3 liters of this, 2 liters of this, and 1 liter of this. Okay, see the first scenario. Considering this scenario, what is the smaller percent? That is 40. What is greater? That is 60. And we have to find the overall average. And let's call this A1 and this as A2. So what is W1 over W2? We are given that W1 is 3 liter and W2 is 2. This is 3x over 2x. So I told you, if this is A1, this side will be W1, this is 3x. And if this is A2, this side will be W2, that is 2x. So in total, 60 minus 40, 20 is equal to 3 plus 2, 5x. And x is equal to 4. You know x. So overall average will be equal to 40 plus 2 into 4. This is 40 plus 8, which is 48. And this is less than 50. So this is correct answer. Everyone got this? Everyone got this right? Now let's move to the second part. In second part, we are given 3 liter of 42%. Now consider this is 42%, and the greater one is how much? 60%. And we're asked to find the overall average. Let this be A1 and this be A2. And what is W1 over W2? This is 3 and 2 is this one. So we can write this as 3x over 2x. And I told you if this is A1, W1 will be opposite. What is this value? This is 3x. If this is A2, W2 will be opposite. This one, this is 2x. So in total, what is the difference? That is 60 minus 42, 18. And this is equal to 3x plus 2x, which is 5x. And x is equal to 18 plus 5, which is 3.6. And now what is the average, overall average? That is 42 plus 2 into 3.6, which is again less than 50%. So this is also possible. First two options are possible, right? And now if you see the last part, so we have to, let's proceed with first one, then move to the second one. So first one, we have 2 liter of 40% solution. This is 40% and the bigger one is 60%. And this is AG. So what is this is A1 and this is A2. What is W1 over W2? That is 2, this one, and this one, this is x by x. So this is x by x, right? So this is simple. 60 minus 40, 20 is equal to x plus x, 2x. X is equal to 10. So this is simple. This is 50, right? So considering first, we get a solution of 50%. Now let's move to the other. This is 45%, and we already got a solution of 50%. And what will be average now? If this is A1, this is A2, and okay, so W1 over W2. What is W1 now? That is 1 liter. And what is W2? That is 2 plus 2, 4 liters, which we already did, right? 2 plus 2, 4 liters, and it is x by 4x. So if this is A1, W1 will be this side x, and this will be 4x. So combining 50 minus 45, 5 is equal to x plus 4x, which is 5x, and x is equal to 1, right? So overall average will be 45 plus 4, which is 49, less than 50. So again, this is possible. Hence, all of these are possible. Is this understood by all? Yeah, try to solve this question now. Okay, so in this question, there are 2 bars of gold silver alloy. Okay, there are 2 bars. One, let's consider first bar and second bar. And in first bar, something gold and some parts silver. Okay, gold is 2 parts and silver is 3 parts. And another, there is 3 parts of gold and 7 parts of silver. And if both are melted together into 8 grams of bar with the final gold to silver ratio of 5:11. And after combining both, the gold is 5 and this is 11. Okay. So if you want to solve this question, you can proceed with gold part or you can proceed with the silver part. And if you're, let's see, you have 2 parts of gold and 3 parts of silver. What this mean? This mean out of total 5, if I say this as total is 5, total is 10, and total is 16. Out of total 5 parts, you have 2 parts of gold and 3 parts of silver. In the second, out of total 10, you have 3 gold and 7 silver. And if we combine both, melt both into a single one, that is 5 parts gold and 11 parts silver. Now just tell me what is the fraction of gold in first one. That will be, I will say, fraction of gold.
2/5.
Yes. First, let me complete. That will be 2/5. And in the second one, this will be 3/10. And in the last one, that will be 5/16. Now, if you see closely, this is the same thing. You have the initial. Now, if you saw closely, you have the initial one, the final one, and the average of, and the middle one. What is 2/5 in percent? Anyone? This is 40%. This is 3/10 is around 30%. And what is 5/16 in percent? Anyone? What is 5/16 in percent? No one is solving with me.
30 something, 33.
30 something.
Around 31.25%. Okay. Now, just draw the scale. What is the initial one? That is 30%, but better write this in form of fraction. There is a reason I will tell you later. This is 3/10, this is 2/5, and this is 5/16. Now, in order to find the ratio, this will be, let's suppose, A1, this is AG, and this is A2. And in any case, if we have a common base, we can subtract these or we can found the ratio. For example, first tell me what is the LCM of 10, 16, and 5? Quick. What is LCM of 10, 16, and 5?
80.
80. To make this something out of 80, what is the numerator? 24. I'm dividing and multiplying by 10. This is A1. AG, if I want to make 80 in denominator, I will multiply above and below by 5. This is 25. And if I want to make 80 here, I have to multiply with 16. So this will be 32/80. Now, what is the difference between this? This is 7/80. And this is how much? This is 1/80. And if you take the ratio now, this is straightforward 1/7. This is 1/7. The question is saying we are given that the final value is 8 kg. Now this is the first question in which we are given the final value. You are given the final weight, which is 8 kg. And we know the ratio 7x into x, which is 8x is equal to 8 and x is equal to 1 kg. And the question is saying, what was the weight of first bar? Can anyone tell now? This is A1, right? And this is A2. A1 is from first one, right? So just see this one. A1 is first one or second one? No one is solving with me, or no one telling when I'm making mistake here. A1 is second one, greater value. So which is x, and x is equal to 1, which is 1 kg. Anyone got this? No one is responding now.
No way. Yes.
Okay, let's try to solve this by the silver, not by the gold, to get a better idea. We have first one, second one, and a combined one. This is gold, silver, total, and ratio. The ratio, not fraction. And this is 2, 3, this is 3, 7, and this is 5, 11. Total 5, total 10, and total 16. So what is the fraction of silver in first? That is 3/5. In second one, this is 7/10. And the last one, this is 11/16. What is the lower one? And what is the bigger one? 3/5, right? And this is A1. and AG is equal to 11 by 16, and A2 is equal to 7 by 10. Again, take the LCM of denominator, which is 80. So A1 is equal to, what is this value? It is around 48
around 48 years.
by 80. And what is this value? This is what value?
20 by 80.
20 by 80. 20 by 80. This is 5. And this is 11. This is not 20 by 80.
Sorry, 55.
55 by 80. That's what I'm saying. And this is what?
56.
56 by 80. Now just see the difference. This is 1 by 80 and this is 7 by 80. If you take the ratio, this is 7:1, and we are given the whole thing, the whole final value, which is 8 kg. So whole thing is given 8. So 8 is equal to 8x, x is equal to 1. And we are asked to find the first one, and the opposite, first one is 3/5, and opposite of that is x. So x is equal to 1 kg. So either proceed with gold or proceed with silver, you will get 1 as the final answer. To be honest, I don't think so that in exam you will get this much difficulty, but still it is better to practice to get hold on such concepts so that you won't be amazed in the actual exam. Is this understood by all?
Yes.
Yes.
Weighted average is a very versatile concept, and that is used in various ways. For example, just leave this question, try to solve this question a bit later. Then I gave you the slides. Okay, leave this, yeah. If you see, this is an interest question, which I told you when we were solving the interest part. I told you that there is a shortcut which we do when we solve this, the weighted average. So let's try to solve this question. And we are given that a sum of money is invested in two accounts. One has 3% annual interest rate and other one is 6%. And after 2 years, the interest obtained is 2,100. And if the person invested 21,000, the question is saying at 6% rate of interest, what amount is invested, right? One way is to solve this question using the formula. The other way is, if you see, we have 3% and we have 6%. And we know if you use the simple interest formula, what is simple interest formula? That is principal amount into number of years, or what is the, whatever the time period is, into rate of interest divided by 100. And simple interest is given 2,100. Principal amount is 21,000. And number of for 2 years, this is 2, and this is R we want to find, divided by 100. So this will be 10, and R is equal to 5%. Now we know the actual rate of interest, that is 5%, which will be in between, and we know the amount into rate of interest which we are putting over data. This is 3% and this is 6%. So if you see, this will be 2 and this will be 1, right? And the question is saying, what was the sum of money invested at 6% annual rate of interest? So that for 6, it is 2x, and for 3, this is 1x. So for finding the total percentage, that will be 2x over 2x plus x, 2x plus x, which is 2x over 3x, which is 2 by 3. And total value was how much? 21,000. And whatever your answer is, that will be the amount invested at 6% rate of interest. Isn't this a shortcut method? The idea is you can use averages, weighted averages in interest question as well, the mixture question as well, in even in speed and distance question as well, and last in the profit and loss as well. So try to understand this method as much as you can. And there is must around 1 or 2 questions at least from weighted average in the actual exam. Okay, there are more 2 or 3 questions which I want you to solve when I share the slides. And this question, we will solve this question when we move to the speed and distance concept. And this is the question involving the profit and loss, which we discussed in the percentage. And I will leave this question for you and try to solve this using this scale method or weighted average method.